So I was talking about the analyst and what's going on right now. And I'll tell you, I'm not taking anything away from their intellect and analytical skills, their ability to, well, I am taking a little bit away from their ability to really read markets and understand what's happening, unfortunately. But I'm not taking anything away from their intellect and knowing markets and all those kinds of good things. But it occurred to me as I said that. So I was talking to a friend who is a partner and said, really good. And he said, what I'm doing, I have a particular brokerage site that he uses that he said, has various, as I think most sites do. If you look at your site, wherever your brokerage site is, you see other analytics on there that they use. A lot of sites use firms. There's only one of those sites that is really works hard to keep that up to date. So when you look at what an analyst is saying about a particular stock, always look at the date that it was posted. And sometimes it was 6 months ago. Now, the site that this person was talking about happens to be a site I'm familiar with, and I know they're pretty good about keeping it updated. But anyway, he was saying what I do is, I look at what you're saying, well, this is a buy, and I look at what everybody else is saying, and I base on what everybody else is saying along with yours, and I can look at that and form an opinion. This is all very good stuff. And I was thinking, this is great. That's what you should do. And then make a decision, based on everything, kind of get a feel for, maybe get a feel for where I am amongst in the pack of those and all that. And so based on what I said this morning about this analyst that I was watching on Fox Business or listening to, I wasn't watching it, but I was listening. And what they said and just what a ridiculous statement it was that this person made. And say, you've really got to be careful. I mean, you really have to be careful. And I think that this was not true from 2007 backward from there. I don't think this was true. But I think from 2008 on, it's just every year it gets worse and worse and worse and worse every single year. And, there is very few analytical firms that I would not place my faith in any one of them for sure. And you need to look at all of them collectively, like this friend of mine was doing, and try to form some sort of opinion. But just keep in mind that you are forming that opinion based on what could be, I don't want to say it is, what could be a collective group of very ideologically different place than where you are. So is that a bad thing? No, not necessarily. But it is when they are using that same ideology to interfere with the reality of the way things really are. And right now, I am discovering that ideology is not allowing them to think properly in the future. It would be like me never viewing or looking at over the last 35 years the analytics of the severely impeded far left and never looking at that. I have to look at that. It gives me a lot of information. I'm disciplined in my analytics. It's not going to sway me, but I still need to look at that for me, just like the far radical right analytics where, the sky is falling. It's falling today. The end of the world is here. I got to look at that as well. Because if I don't, I'm not going to get I'm not going to be able to form a truly informed hypothesis of what I think is going to happen. Well, that's what we have happening in financial analytics right now. Everybody is looking at the one scenario. One scenario. Nobody's looking at the other scenario because their ideology won't allow them to look at that. And it's a very, very dangerous place to be. So when we hear, and I'm watching this unfold, analysts, you would know names of some of these that are changing like the wind right now, because they're trying, just like the Federal Reserve, to change their own analytics based on what is really happening, which isn't analytics at all. That becomes just stating the news of what it is. It's not analytics.
Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.